I wish I had your support when I went through my fertility process.
Yeah, me too. I wish I had this too.
Yeah.
So astrology, when we were growing up, because you're just a little bit older than I am, it was very basic, right? You had your zodiac signs and that was it. You're like pigeonholed. I know that there was people out there, 40 years ago really doing amazing astrology work because I actually have a neighbor who's 75 and she's kind of my personal astrologist and she's amazing. And she was like old school, like doing the calculations, right? Before computers were invented. Now we have all this
Hmm.
amazing technology that you can literally look up your birth chart off of, many different websites on the internet. Um, so sometimes when I mention astrology to people, they once again just like pigeonhole you, woo woo, that's not true. And it's like, well, I can understand how you think back in the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, how astrology was very limited and it came out in the teen magazines. This is your horoscope for the month. But the reality is, astrology is very complex. It's changing like every hour, if not minute. And knowing the alignments for yourself personally can be very validating and very grounding and gives you, it doesn't predict your future, I don't think. I mean, obviously you can correct me, but it's like it just guides you. And I feel like when I use astrology, it's that kind of like reassurance, of like, okay, my intuition, because I think when you're tapped into astrology, you're tapped into yourself as well, right? Because you are the cosmos, you are connected to everything. So it's just almost like that reassurance of like, okay, yeah, that did feel right to me, or that didn't feel right. And that's why, because, and I am not an astrologer, it's so beyond me, but I love it. It's so fascinating.
The astrology I practice is called esoteric astrology, and it deals with the soul as the soul coming here to go through a journey. And then when we look at it this way, because they are still out there, when you go to the internet and you check some interpretations, like your sun is in Scorpio, for example, you would get some really like nasty interpretations for Scorpio or for Pluto